How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this Mr.E vlog. I'm Mr. E, and this is my vlog. Today I'm going to be talking about forehands, how to throw them if you've never thrown them before, and maybe you have, but you say, oh, forehands just don't work for me. Yeah, they do. You're lying.
Or maybe you're one of those people that say, oh, I have too much torque for forehands. My forehand is too strong. That's a lie. And we're not going to lie here, okay? This is an honest channel. Well, the first thing I'm going to do today is get new shoes because my shoes are absolutely disgusting. Here's a video of them. These are my shoes. Check out that hole in the toe. That is absolutely disgusting. And this one has a giant hole in the bottom as well. Gross. So instead of being like every other disc golfer where I buy Adidas Terexes or Trail Hawk X3000s or whatever, I'm just gonna go to Big Five, find whatever's on sale, and get the cheapest possible thing. Because I drag my toe when I throw, and that wears down my shoes pretty quickly. Had to get ahead of that guy. Alright, so I ended up getting these. I usually wear black and blue as my colors when I play, and I thought these were pretty cool. They are 361 degrees. I guess their slogan is 1 degree beyond. So, I mean, give it 101% or something. The regular price was $69.99, but they were on sale for $29.99, so that's not a bad deal. Anyway, we'll see how those hold up over the next few months, and if they're doing terrible, you'll know. If they're doing great, you'll know as well. This will kind of be like an ongoing review of the shoes, I suppose. So anyway, let's get to the forehand.
All right, so first off, let's talk about how a forehand is different than a normal backhand throw. The main thing that it's different is the rotation that it has. For example, a backhand, I'm gonna throw it like this. It has this kind of clockwise rotation. And what that does to the disc is when it loses its forward momentum, its velocity, and slows down, it's gonna fade off to the left like this. Now with the forehand, when I release it, it has counterclockwise rotation. And when that slows down, it's going to fade to the other side, like this. So if you have both of those shots in your arsenal, you can attack the holes different ways. If there's a hole that curves to the right, you could throw a forehand. If there's a hole that curves to the left, you could throw a backhand. Unless, of course, you are lefty and then it's, opposite. But anyway, let's learn how to throw forehands. If you've never thrown them before, here's how to do it. Do not grab an overstable distance driver such as this stiletto. Sure, you might be able to get a little bit more distance right off the bat, but it will definitely hurt you in the long run. And the reason for that is because a lot of people have had a baseball background. Maybe you've had a baseball background. The way you throw a baseball and the way you throw a sidearm are totally different. Here's what I mean. With a baseball throw, you really lead with your elbow and then snap your wrist over to get the speed of the ball. I'm going to throw a tomahawk, which is kind of the same thing as a baseball throw. Alright, so as you can see, my elbow is leading and then my wrist flips over. Now that's fine for an overhand shot or for throwing a baseball. But what it causes when you throw a sidearm that way, if you lead by your elbow, if you're leading by your elbow and then you roll your wrist over, look at my release angle of my disc. It's going to go straight into the ground. So how do we fix this? Well, when you're throwing, you really want to have an emphasis of kind of pushing with your wrist forward rather than snapping it. So you want the disc to come out flat and level and flick it forward. All right, first off, I'm going to show you how I hold the disc. You might hold it different. Everyone holds their forehands different in their hand. This is just how I do it because this is more comfortable for me. I have my two fingers on the inside of the disc right there. A lot of people have their middle finger and then their pointer finger. I don't do that because it doesn't feel comfortable for me. So I'm going to have my two fingers on the inside right there, the disc kind of sitting down in the pocket of my hand, and then my thumb right on top. That is how I hold my forehands. All right, so like I said, you're not going to go grab a distance driver. You're going to grab a putter. And the reason for that is because we want to work on form before power. When you have good form, then you can add power and not have to worry about it getting out of control. We're going to worry about going only 50 feet, no farther than that. Only a nice, simple, easy flick. We're worrying about form, nice, smooth, flat release. And you can go ahead and try that. See, nice, simple, smooth shot. That's what we want. No fluttering out of the hand, no dumping over to the side, just nice, smooth, straight forehand shot. Now once you've gotten that down pretty good, then you can go for maybe like a 75 or 100-foot shot. A little bit more power, but still focus on that kind of flat, pushing, flick release rather than a throwing motion. We're not really trying to throw it here. All right, and one person I suggest you watch is Ricky Wysocki. He has a harp kind of like this one, except his is red. His touch-up shots with his harp are so clean, so smooth out of his hand. There's no flutter. So if you want to learn how to throw nice, smooth putter forehand shots, watch Ricky Wysocki. Now, once you're really comfortable with that, you can add even more power. Just worry about a nice, smooth, clean release. All right, now when you're feeling good with that putter shot, you can go ahead and add more power as long as your form is nice and smooth. I have here a compass, just a nice, straight flying mid-range, and do your thing. When you're comfortable with that, go ahead and grab a distance driver, give it a little bit more power, still focusing on that nice, smooth, flat, clean release. Of course, it's always fun to grab an overstable distance driver and just kind of crank on it. So anyway, that's how to learn a forehand. Start with the putter, start slow, straight, nothing too overstable. Worry about a nice, clean, flat release. Don't worry about distance. You'll be good in no time. So what is this myth of torque that everyone's talking about? Forehands have more torque. Oh, my forehand has more torque. I can't use that disc. I only use a XXX. That's a lie, and I'll tell you why. Because it all comes down to form. When people say they have more torque on a disc, it usually means that they're trying to throw it harder, which means they're leading with their elbow, like I said earlier, and reaching over with their wrist. And that causes the disc to be fluttery, dig into the ground, and that's because of torque. All right, and I'm gonna try to demonstrate that here. I have a Tersis, which is a really understable mid-range, if you know what this disc is. And I'm gonna try to forehand it with a lot of power, and we'll see how it works. All right, so even though the disc flipped over on me, I still had a nice, smooth, clean release, proving that torque from forehands is a lie. It's not a thing. Anyway, hope you know enough now to try your own forehands. If you've never tried it before, do it. And if you have done it before, but maybe you gave up on it, try it again. You got this. Okay, so one of the people who asked me a question was Clintron Disc Golf. I think I'm saying that right. He said, right now my forehands go about 200 to 225. How do I get more power? It's really just something you have to work on to get more power, but keep it a little tighter and a little bit more flick. One of the ways you can get more power without, like I said, leading with your elbow and reaching over is keeping the disc a little tighter to your body and rotating your body with it. So instead of something like that around the outside, keep it a little tighter to your body. Still, you want that kind of pushing snap. All right, also he was saying something about, is the line in the reach back for a forehand the same as a backhand, or is it different? I'm gonna say it's completely different. For the reach back for a backhand, you are actually reaching back and pulling right there, and that's all your power in the pull. With the reach back of a forehand, you're not really reaching way back here, because that line is really hard to hit with the way our arms are structured. If you reach all the way back here, it's not going to work. So a lot of people will either bring it up to the side. Paul Macbeth does that. But anyway, a lot of people will start up here and kind of scoop it down to the side right there. I personally don't know exactly what I do. I might just bring it back and forward. I don't know. Let's see. So that's what I do. Another important point is follow through. After you flick the disc, you don't want to just kind of leave your hand there and throw it like that. You want a nice smooth release and then follow through. Follow through. All right, so I found a participant, I guess, in the video. This is Stephen Chang. He's got a smiley face on the bottom of his disc. And he is going to throw with 4 hands.
Forehands, you got it.
And that's not a bad shot. All right, so as you saw in Steve's shot, it's really smooth. It actually looks really good. One thing that I saw that is a little bit different from other people that throw is on his reach back. He does reach really far back. Now that's not a problem. That's just something that he does with his form. And if that helps him to keep the disc in line, then that's a good thing. Let's look at it from another angle. All right. So one thing you can see from that back angle is that on his pull through, his disc is quite far away from his body. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. People have different weird form things. I mean, take a look at Dave Feldberg on his backhand line. He releases way down here. But if it's consistent and it works and it's not hurting you and it's not messing anything up, then go for it. But one thing he might be able to benefit from is a little bit more velocity on his exit if he brings that disc just a little bit closer into his body, kind of like on the backhand, how you kept your inside arm nice and inside so it helps you rotate faster. If he brings that disc just a little bit on the inside and uses more of that flicking motion, he might be able to get a little bit more velocity. So let's have him try that. Very nice. Cool, so it looks like he got just a little bit more exit velocity on that one, but it was a little bit awkward for him to bring in that elbow a little bit too here, which is why he was kind of dipping down. So that's just something to work on, keeping it inside, but also keeping it level, about level, pulling through nice and smooth. But, I mean, whatever works for him works. That's kind of the whole point of the sport. You just kind of figure it out. All right, now let's see Steve do a 360 drive.
I've never even tried that.
Oh, you're gonna try it now. 360 drive. Steve's
So,
gonna.
like,
Yep. 360 drive. Steve's gonna do it. That is not bad. I don't know if it helped you at all over a normal backhand, but. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not any better than a regular backhand.
Yeah.
I have a lot more control with the
I
backhand.
think I do better.
Anyway, big thanks to Steve for being a volunteer and a lab rat. He's in the sun. Let's get a nice silhouette shot. Oh yeah, look how majestic. Do a nice pose. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, I hope this video helped you learn how to throw forehands. It's really dark in here, but I'm watching the Wintertime Open. So anyway, catch you later. Once again, this is the Mystery Vlog. I'm Mr. E, and this was my vlog.